Donald Trump's time in the political spotlight has been nothing short of polarizing. Whether as a reality TV host, a businessman, or the 45th President of the United States, Trump has always captured public attention with his charisma, unpredictability, and, most notably, his infamous temper. While his supporters hail him as a leader unafraid to challenge norms, critics argue that his behavior often borders on erratic and destabilizing. Recently, an alarming incident involving a heated confrontation with a polling official has reignited debates about Trump's temperament and his fitness for leadership. Once seen as a tough-talking disruptor, Trump's unpredictable outbursts have now raised concerns about whether his behavior reflects deeper psychological issues. This video dives into the specifics of the altercation, examines Trump's history of emotional volatility, and analyzes the potential implications for his political future. The incident, a routine exchange, turns explosive. The setting was a small polling station in a swing state, where local election officials had been briefing party representatives on the mechanics of updated voting machines and election security protocols. Donald Trump, present as part of his ongoing campaign to highlight alleged irregularities in the U.S. voting system, was expected to make a brief appearance to rally his supporters and call for transparency in the election process. What transpired, however, was far from routine. Witnesses describe a scene that quickly escalated into chaos. As one official began explaining the intricacies of ballot scanning procedures, Trump reportedly grew impatient, interrupting the explanation multiple times. When the official attempted to clarify a technical detail, Trump's demeanor shifted. His voice rose, and his tone became combative. "This is a disgrace," he reportedly shouted, accusing the official of incompetence and bias. Observers say the outburst was not just loud but personal, with Trump attacking the official's qualifications and questioning their integrity. According to one attendee, it went from a debate about policy to a full-blown verbal attack. You could see the official was caught off guard and struggling to respond. Security personnel eventually stepped in to de-escalate the situation, but the damage was done. Clips of the incident, recorded by attendees, soon went viral on social media, drawing a mixture of shock, outrage, and concern from the public. A pattern of volatility. This latest incident is far from isolated. Throughout his political career, Trump's outbursts have been a defining feature of his public persona. From fiery press conferences to explosive tweets, his temper has been both a weapon and a liability. One of the earliest public displays of Trump's temper came during the 2016 Republican primaries, where he famously insulted his opponents with derogatory nicknames such as Little Marco for Marco Rubio and Lioned Ted for Ted Cruz. While many dismissed these remarks as part of his unorthodox campaign strategy, others saw them as indicative of deeper issues with impulse control and emotional regulation. As president, Trump's outbursts became more frequent and consequential. His infamous feud with CNN reporter Jim Acosta, during which he berated Acosta during a live press briefing, showcased his inability to tolerate dissent. Similarly, his handling of diplomatic matters often involved public spats with foreign leaders, including Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, raising questions about his temperament on the global stage. The most alarming examples of Trump's volatility, however, came in moments of national crisis. His response to the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, during which he referred to protesters as thugs and suggested military intervention, highlighted his tendency to react impulsively under pressure. Critics argued that his rhetoric only deepened divisions and exacerbated tensions. Psychological perspectives. What's behind the behavior? Mental health experts and political commentators have long speculated about the psychological factors driving Trump's behavior. While it is impossible to diagnose anyone without a formal evaluation, several theories have been proposed. Narcissistic personality traits. Many psychologists suggest that Trump exhibits traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder, including an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for constant admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. His tendency to lash out when challenged or criticized aligns with this theory, as narcissistic individuals often struggle to handle perceived threats to their ego. Stress and burnout. The pressures of the presidency and subsequent legal battles may have taken a toll on Trump's emotional stability. Stress is known to exacerbate existing personality traits, and in Trump's case, it may amplify his impulsive and combative tendencies.
Cognitive decline.
Some critics have raised concerns about potential cognitive decline, citing instances of forgetfulness, rambling speeches, and difficulty staying focused during public appearances. While such observations remain speculative, they have fueled discussions about whether age-related changes could be affecting his behavior. Learned behavior. Trump's confrontational style may also be a product of his upbringing and career in the business world, where aggressive tactics were often rewarded. His success in leveraging conflict as a tool for dominance may have reinforced these patterns over time. The political fallout. While Trump's core base has remained steadfast in their loyalty, incidents like the altercation with the polling official pose significant risks to his broader appeal. Swing voters, who often decide elections, may be turned off by his erratic behavior. In recent months, polls have shown a decline in Trump's favorability ratings among independents and suburban voters. Political analysts suggest that this shift could be pivotal in battleground states where elections are often decided by razor-thin margins. Moreover, Trump's behavior is increasingly becoming a liability for the Republican Party. With key elections approaching, GOP strategists are grappling with how to balance their support for Trump's populist base while appealing to moderate voters. Some Republican leaders, including Senator Mitt Romney and Governor Chris Sununu, have publicly criticized Trump's actions, warning that his outbursts could alienate critical constituencies. The broader implications for American politics. The incident also underscores a broader issue within American politics, the normalization of combative and divisive rhetoric. Trump's rise to power coincided with an era of heightened polarization, where civility often took a backseat to partisanship. His confrontational style has not only reshaped the Republican Party, but also influenced political discourse across the spectrum. Critics argue that Trump's behavior sets a dangerous precedent, encouraging other politicians to adopt similar tactics. When leaders behave in this way, it trickles down, says political scientist Dr. Laura Michaels. It erodes public trust in institutions and fosters an environment where hostility becomes the norm. Public reaction and media coverage. The public's reaction to the polling station incident has been mixed, reflecting the deep divisions within the country. While Trump supporters have defended his actions as justified, critics have called for accountability. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds for debates, with hashtags like #TrumpMeltdown trending on Twitter. Mainstream media outlets have also weighed in, with some framing the incident as evidence of Trump's unfitness for office, while others argue that it has been blown out of proportion. Fox News, a longtime ally of Trump, initially downplayed the incident, but later ran a segment questioning whether such behavior could hurt his campaign. The altercation with the polling official marks yet another chapter in the tumultuous saga of Donald Trump. While his supporters may view it as a display of his passion and refusal to back down, others see it as a troubling sign of a leader who struggles to control his emotions. As Trump continues to navigate his post-presidency ambitions, the stakes could not be higher. Incidents like this not only threaten his political viability, but also raise broader questions about the impact of his leadership style on American democracy. Whether he can regain control of his narrative, or if this latest controversy will be the tipping point, remains to be seen. For now, one thing is certain. Donald Trump's temper is no longer just a personal quirk. It is a defining issue that could shape the future of his political career and the nation as a whole.